Aloha everyone, and welcome to another Tinker's Academy video. I'm your host Kay Elmer, and this video is a further installment in the video series Benefits of Quantum Healing, where I've been recapping various studies that have been commissioned by Leela Quantum Tech on the effects of quantum energy on various biological systems as well as substances. This particular study that I'm covering has been published in 2025, and it's called The Effects of Quantum Energy on Mitochondrial Function. So for those of you who are not really familiar with what mitochondria is, it's essentially, kind of nicknamed the powerhouse of the cell. And why it's important is because this little thing, and there's a lot of them in our bodies, in almost every cell, not every cell, but almost all of our cells of our bodies, and this includes your pets and animals and so forth, have this little thing in there called a mitochondria. And it's responsible for producing the energy-carrying molecules ATP. They convert food into usable energy through a process called oxidative phosphorylation. Now, healthy mitochondrial function is crucial for overall health, as mitochondria are responsible for energy production. It's what powers us and converts our food into energy. As they generate ATP, which is a measure of that energy, they play a crucial role in metabolism, cell growth, and even programmed cell death, which is called apoptosis. When mitochondria don't function properly, and this is key, it can lead to various health problems, including fatigue, muscle weakness, neurological issues, and even increased risks of diseases like cancer. And to kind of give you an idea how much of your body contains mitochondria, the average adult human body contains an estimated 100 trillion mitochondria. And this equates to about 10% of an adult's body weight. So just imagine 10% of your entire body mass is mitochondria, and that's how much your body, is composed of this energy producing, basically cell. I guess it's not even a cell, it's a part of a cell that actually runs your body. And it's just so critical to our health, it's critical to our aging and so forth. So one of the interesting things about this study is, while the other studies have really been focusing on the things like blood cell morphology, which is like looking at actual cells, now this is looking at what's inside the cells and how quantum energy affects one of the little particulates inside of a cell, the most important particulate inside the cell. And so that's what really is amazing about this study, because it gives us a really in-depth understanding of what's really happening at the smallest level. And it actually, and when you look at the results, it really explains some of the things that people are experiencing. And let me get into that for you. So now this report is now available and has been published on the site called the International Association for Quantum Technology and Frequency Medicine. This is a third-party nonprofit that houses various different studies on quantum technology and frequency medicine. So, links in the video description below if you want to take a look at it. I just want to make sure that you're aware that all of the studies are been published. They're available publicly. So full transparency, everyone's welcome to kind of take a look at these and read them themselves, if you're interested in that sort of thing. But just to let you know that this is all 100% upfront, transparent, so that people can understand, what's really happening in a lot of different avenues in terms of quantum energy and frequency medicine. So now, to find this report in particular, if you go to the International Association of Quantum Technology and Frequency Medicine, and you go to this website, you just click on the Go to Studies, you come down here and you look at this one section here, this category called Cell Health, and then you take a look at this one report here, and here we go. This is the report I'm talking about. So now this is the general summary that you'll find on the website. I'll be going over that here in this video, and then you can kind of click here to get the detailed report, and that's what I'll be showing you, and then you'll get this report here. And I just want to caveat that it is a pilot study. Now, a lot of the studies that are done and commissioned by Leela Quantum Tech, and this is a third party now, so Leela hires a third party that's not affiliated with them to just basically objectively evaluate their tools or their services to find out, hey, what's happening, so that, and then the results obviously back up the claims that the company's making in terms of their products and services. So now, and the point I'm making is that these pilot studies are just really kind of like, put a toe in a pool, kind of just see what's going on. And if they find some really interesting results, either way, then they will basically get an idea whether or not to put more investment into understanding more about that particular area of study. And so it's a pilot study. You start out with just a few people or a few animals or a few, substances. And then you kind of just get an idea for like, hey, if there's something happening there, they want to investigate further, they'll do a full blown, long-term study. So this one was just one of those preliminary short ones to kind of just say, hey, what's happening here? Let's take a look at it and see if anything, can be found out that we didn't know before. So now the study here again is called it's called Exploring the Effects of Quantum Energy on Mitochondrial Function and Cellular Adaptation. It is a pilot study, and then basically the overall understanding of the study, or the description of the study, is, quote, in recent years, frequency-based interventions have been explored as a potential method to optimize mitochondrial performance, enhance energy production, and support cellular repair mechanisms. This pilot study investigates the short-term and long-term effects of such interventions on mitochondrial dynamics, energy metabolism, and oxidative stress regulation. And this report was published this February in 2025. So now, to kind of just start off, the principal investigator for the study was a company called mescreen. And mescreens, if you look at their website, they basically claim that, basically mescreen, which is a service, decodes your cellular performance to unlock peak potential for optimal living, etc. And so what they really are is a company, it's a third-party company that, basically offers services to people who are really into their health and want to understand a lot more about what's going on at the cellular and subcellular level of their health. And again, like I mentioned, mitochondria is just one of the most important aspects of health that can lead to a lot of things. So if you can really understand what's going on at the subcellular level of your body, you can really start making, the best changes in your lifestyle to improve your overall performance in every way possible. And so the mescreen company, they have a lot of different tools, and they kind of approach everything in a three-step process where they provide precision data collection, performance, and then performance validation, and then they make comments, and they basically provide advice for full health optimization, so that you're dealing with your health and your performance at a subcellular level that will affect every aspect of your body. And you can find mescreen at www.mescreen.com, link below in the video description. So that's the company that was commissioned by Leela Quantum Tech to conduct this pilot study. So the very first thing I kind of want to cover on the study was what are the methods and materials for this pilot study. And so really it's a before and after study where they used the quantum upgrade service to kind of with these adults to kind of just see what would happen if, at the mitochondrial level, when you take people who've never been on quantum upgrade or exposed to quantum energy, and you turn, if they took a before snapshot of these individuals, and they took 3 after snapshots. So it's a before and after study. And so they took a measurement when they, in the beginning before they turned on quantum upgrade for them. And by the way, for those of you who have physical products, it's the same energy. So it's the same effect, from whether you have a block or you carry a capsule as you would have quantum upgrade. So it's the same concept here. So they just focused on quantum upgrade. It's a lot easier to work with in the studies. And so they did a before snapshot, and then they took 3 afters. They did one at 7 days, one at 30 days, and one at 120 days to kind of see, hey, 4 months later, what's really happening? Is it still sustained, the effects that they're seeing? And so the initial measurement was taken before the frequency intervention, as I mentioned, to establish a reference for comparison. That's your before snapshot. And then 7 days post-intervention, a follow-up assessment was conducted to take a look at the immediate physiological responses, including potential stress reactions, detoxification effects, and mitochondrial network restructuring. Now, the 120 final measurement was taken at 120 days to evaluate the long-term adaptation and integration of frequency-based exposure. And, they're using the phrase frequency-based exposure. That means quantum upgrade, okay, for this study. So with an emphasis on sustained improvements in mitochondrial efficiency and cellular energetics. So again, they wanted to take a look at it over time, which I think is one of the most important studies that has been done, because a lot of the studies, they don't go for 4 months. They don't say, let's start and see what happens after 4 months. Like the other studies will go before and after 30 days. Some of the studies will go, let's do before and after, 4 weeks or 5 weeks, 6, whatever, and then they'll do it like multiple times. But this one was, hey, let's take a look at it, and let's, for a long period of time. Because one of the questions we get a lot in the Telegram chat groups is, how long are the effects? How long do they last? And this is a great study to kind of show you and evaluate and basically convey to anyone who's doing this that this does, this is what happens after a long-term exposure to quantum energy. Now, the materials and methods aspect of the participants, again, it's 5 adults, humans, were used in this study. And then the mescreen process was they looked at 6 specific assays to measure the mitochondrial function. So, there's descriptions in the report if you want to take a look at it. But they looked at mitochondrial respiration analysis. They looked at energy production. They looked at reactive oxygen species, and this is what people refer to as free radicals. And if you're into the longevity biohacking space, you'll understand that. Again, mitochondrial function is critical to your health, and that's a real big biohacking thing. But it's also reactive oxygen species, so how you handle and your body handles, and how you help your body handle basically dealing with free radicals, which is what basically just eats you up and ages you. It's a huge issue of aging and health is also reactive oxygen species. Managing like how well your body deals with free radicals. The 4th one was mitochondrial network imaging, and then again they looked at metabolic profiling, and then lastly they looked at blood samples. And so they were very thorough in 6 specific areas of mitochondrial function that they evaluated throughout the study for these 5 people. Now, the results, and this is the amazing part of this, and it is a pilot study, but the amazing thing, and this is what they found, was at the 7-day time point, there appeared to be a downward shift in mitochondrial function, including stress response and energetics. And they concluded that this may indicate an initial detoxification or reintegration phase where the body adapts to the new information provided by the frequency intervention. And this is amazing, because for the longest time, people who are new to energy have experienced, and some, not everyone, but some people experience like detox effects. And here we go, we have a study now that says, hey, this is what we actually measured was a detox effect. And so this explains why we're feeling the way we do when we are encountering these either quantum energy for the first time or stronger energy. Like if you've never experienced like like they have a newer product that's really strong and you've only been using the older products which are not as strong, when you bring more quantum energy into your life, or you try it for the first time, they have now identified what's actually happening at the subcellular level that maybe could explain that. And that's what's really amazing about this study. And so they also looked at, they also were able to evaluate that they saw a transient increase in ROS levels, and the mitochondrial network fragmentation was observed in a subset of participants, which suggesting an acute response phase where cells undergo metabolic recalibration. So there's really just this amazing measurement that they were able to determine that, hey, in the first 7 days, the participants in the study were showing at a mitochondrial level that they were, their body was adapting to this energy, and it was trying to find a balance, and that they were really recalibrating themselves at a subcellular level, which is just profound, because now we have an evaluation as to what's happening to us when we experience quantum energy for the first time, and or we increase the strength. And so now by the 30-day assessment, a trend towards improvement in mitochondrial function was observed. Indicators such as ATP synthesis rate and mitochondrial stress response showed signs of recovery and enhanced efficiency, which suggests that the body integrates the intervention over time, leading to a more stabilized and functional mitochondrial network. And they further went on to say about the 30-day assessment is that the glycolic ATP production initially showed a compensatory increase, followed by a normalization phase where the mitochondrial ATP generation improved, indicating an overall shift towards oxidative energy metabolism. Cell redox balance appeared to stabilize, with ROS levels reducing significantly in most subjects by the 30-day mark. So this is great information, because now we know why people are feeling the way they are, and also can provide more advice to people who are, again, new to quantum energy or increasing the level in their lives. So there is definitely something happening where there's a detox, and then your body rebalances and recalibrates, and then you start to move up. Your body starts to improve. By the 30-day mark, you're significantly improving, and it's what really is amazing is it's affecting your mitochondria in a very, very positive way. And then by the 120-day assessment, some effects, and this is what's really amazing, some effects were maintained or improved at 120 days. So these were the glycolic rate, decreased non-mitochondrial respiration, decreased ROS, mitochondrial networks, and while others returned to control levels, the baseline and spare capacity. So here we go, that basically long-term exposure maintained and improved. Over time, you continue to improve in all of these different areas, and other ones just kind of return to baseline. So it's that whole thing about quantum energy seeking harmony and balance, which is repeated constantly in the claims that are made by the company. And here we go. We're actually now have a study at this incredibly detailed level that demonstrates, hey, this is what's really happening. And explains why. And the why part is really the amazing thing, is we never knew why until now, and now we do. And so the overall summary of the report stated, while statistically significance, cannot be established because of the small cohort size. It's only 5 people. It's a study. It's a pilot. However, the observed trends suggest a meaningful impact on mitochondrial energetics and oxidative stress regulation. The initial stress response observed in some participants supports the concept of hormesis, where a temporary decline in function precedes long-term resilience and adaptation. The gradual improvement by the 30-day time point highlights the importance of sustained exposure to frequency interventions for optimal cellular health. Now, although this pilot study is limited in scope, it highlights key trends in mitochondrial response to frequency intervention. So an initial phase of stress and detoxification appears to be followed by a gradual recovery and improvement in mitochondrial energetics. So however, individuals' variability underscores the need for more personalized approaches in optimizing interventions. So again, this study demonstrates that there is a huge impact to your body with quantum energy, and also quantum energy over time. And it's definitely affecting your mitochondrial function, as well as your reactive oxygen species or free radical, the way your body handles that. So it is an amazing study. I kind of just want to point out that all of the studies are basically just, scientists evaluating whatever they're tasked to evaluate. And then, of course, they're just going to basically say, hey, this is what we looked at. This is how we looked at it. And here's the data. And so if you want to actually look at the data, and if you're a cellular biologist, type of person, and you'll understand this way better than I would, then here you can actually look at the raw data, and it's in the study. Again, you can find that on the website, and you can look at all the different measurements that were taken before and then after 7, 30, and 120 days. And so they've got all the data in here, and then they've got their discussions. It's a very short study, only 5 pages, but it's got the data if you're interested in seeing the data. And then what I've done in this video is kind of go over the highlights and just kind of explain to you how they did it, who did it, and what the results were. So that's it. This was an amazing study. It's only a pilot, but again, it really, really answers some of those questions that we've all had about quantum energy in terms of why we are feeling the way we do, how it's helping us, and what are the long-term effects of quantum energy. So amazing study. Wanted to share that with you. It just came out a couple of months ago. And so thank you very much. I hope you found this interesting. And vielen Dank to our German friends out there. Now, if you want to learn more about quantum upgrade, links below in the video description. If you want to learn more about the rest of the different studies, I'm trying to cover every single one of them, doing a recap videos on them, and you'll find the playlist on my video on my blog called the Tinker's Academy blog. Links in the video description below. If you like to kind of follow this type of information, I do study recaps for this video series called Benefits of Quantum Healing. I also do FAQ videos to answer the wide host of different questions and issues that are raised in our Telegram chat groups for people who are interested in this type of subject. So, definitely you'd want to go ahead and subscribe and keep up on information such as that if you subscribe to my channel. So again, I hope you found this interesting. I found it fascinating. And thank you for your time. Have a great day. Aloha.